Hello beautiful bookworms, my name is Katarina and welcome to my channel. So today I have a very special video for you guys, and as you may see for the title, it's like a summerish TBR but fantasy edition. And why? Because as you may notice, I have been reading a lot of classics and a lot of magical realism novels and stuff like that, and I haven't had the pleasure of drowning myself in fantasy like I usually do. And since fantasy is my favorite genre, and since I'm missing reading fantasy so much, I decided that for summer, although I'm also going to read some classics, and if you guys want, I can post like a summer TBR classics edition for you or something like that, and other kinds of books, because yeah, I want to read manga obviously, and I want to read graphic novels. And if you guys want, I may also post what manga and what graphic novels I want to read in summer. Yeah, I haven't think about that. Maybe I'll do that, yeah. But yeah, for this video in particular, it's Summer TBR Fantasy Edition, which means all of the books that I wish I could get into in summer, and I really want to try to get into in summer. And why? Because these are my last big vacations per se, because for the next year I would have to present my thesis and finish it first, so yeah, and then I would still be working and stuff like that. If everything goes okay, I will graduate, I will have a different kind of life maybe, and I won't be able to read so much because I'll have a lot more duties to do. So yeah, I decided that this summer is the summer where I'm going to read like hell, because I haven't had time to read a lot during the school time, university time. So yeah, I am just going to go full on batshit crazy with fantasy. So I'm going to show you some of the books that I want to read in summer and that are fantasy. So yeah, that is the point of this video. Also, I would love for you guys to comment what books you think I should read first. And yeah, give your opinions about the books. Also, I have a question to ask you, but that will be in the middle of the video, so I will try not to forget about that. Yeah, and that is also, I'm going to start my summer TBR. So, firstly, I've been thinking that I have to put some of the series that are ongoing that I haven't read or that I finished and I haven't read in order. So basically, the first book that I will present to you guys is Hollow City by Ransom Riggs, and I really want to read this because I read Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, and although I don't have the third book, this is a very easy story to remember, maybe because it's a little bit YA, and it has a little bit of creepiness in it. And why am I not reading this in October? Well, because in October I have plans for way more creepier and adult books than Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children series. But if for some reason by that time I have the third book, maybe I'll read it in October. But for now, I want to read the second book in this series in summer because I just want to know how the story progressed. I am still thinking about the ending of the first one, and I went and saw the movie, and I want to know if it's like the movie or if it's not like the movie, and I am interested, and I think that we need a little dose of creepiness in summer. So yeah, first one is this one. Then, oh, and by the way, I forgot to say, maybe I won't start with the first one that I presented and I will read them in a different order, but first one that I'm presenting was Hollow City. It's just like that. Yeah. Then I want to read the Shadowhunter Chronicles. I want to read City of Bones by Cassandra Clare. I want to read, oh my god, so many books. City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. City of Glass, City of Fallen Angels, City of Lost Souls, and City of Heavenly Fire, all by Cassandra Clare, obviously. And I want to read all of these. Why? Because the hype is killing me. Like, I have no idea what, like, I've been spoiled for stuff. Like, I know that some characters that appear that I shouldn't known, And I know some stuff because of the TV show, the movie, and then because of people talking to me assuming that I have read these books, because everybody assumes that I've read everything and then they spoil me for stuff. And it just makes me want to kill them. But yeah, so I've been spoiled for a lot of stuff in here, and I don't want to be spoiled anymore for anything. And this is a really big series. It has like 6 books. And yeah, I don't think I'll be able to read this in any time if it isn't in summer. And it's actually YA, and I think that summer is nice to read not just adult stuff. To read a little bit of YA and just chill out a little bit. And I definitely know that I won't be able to read chill out contemporaries, because I can't, I hate contemporaries so much. And there will come a day when I will read them and probably like one or two, but no. So for me, it has to be YA fantasy for summer, for chilling out. So yeah, I'm going to read a 6-book series for chilling out. I'm a book nerd. Yeah, and I love it. It's totally awesome. And at the same time, I'm going to be reading the Infernal Devices series, which is Clockwork Angel, Clockwork Prince, and Clockwork Princess, as everyone already knows. But I don't, because I haven't read it, and don't spoil me, because I know there's a love triangle, and that was spoiler enough, and yeah, I don't want to know stuff about this. And I want to read it because a lot of people are telling me that I have to read these in between of the other series, because if I don't, I will get spoiled for stuff. And I don't know how I'm going to do this, if I'm going to read these first, and then I'm going to read the other one, if I'm going to read the other one and then this one, or if I'm going to read in publication order. I have no idea, I will decide it in the moment, so don't bother me with that. I already know all of the ways that you can read these books, and I will find a way to do it eventually in summer, very chill and without problems. So yeah. So after these ones, I really want to read some more adulting fantasy stuff, because you can't just read YA forever, you know. You need a little bit more, you know. So yeah. And although I don't really know if the next ones that I'm going to show you are supposed to be YA or adult, because I've heard some conflicting tales of stuff, but maybe they are still YA and I'm just speaking of them as they are adult, like I have no idea. But first of all, I want to read the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, which is by Laini Taylor, and it's composed by Daughter of Smoke and Bone, Days of Blood and Starlight, and Dreams of Gods and Monsters. Jesus, I have so many books in my hands. Okay, yeah, these 3. So I have no idea, like when I read the back of these books, I thought they were supposed to be YA-ish, but then I heard a lot about the writing of this author, and everyone is saying that she has such a magical writing and such a way of writing that is so beautifully done that I don't really know if I can consider this YA. Like, I have to read to find out. So I don't know, if you want to give me your opinion, you can give me your opinion, but at least the topic sounds a little bit more adulting than the other ones that I presented. So yay. And I probably should read this like in October or December, because you know, I look at this cover and it's so Christmassy. I don't know, but I really want to read this because I've heard so many great things about this author, and I just can't wait to start and reading her words. So I'm definitely gonna try and read this in summer. So yeah, and I am not doing like reading the backs of each books that I want to read for this summer TBR, because let's face it, most of them you guys know about it, and if you don't know about it, I'll give just a brief description, or you can ask me in the comments, but I will probably review all of these series and all of these books for you when I'm finished, so then you'll have more to know about. If you're curious, just ask me in the comments down below and I will answer. If you want to wait a little bit until I finish them and I can do the review, wait a little bit, and when I do the review, you'll know what these books are about. So, proceeding. Next, we have, well, this is a very big decision, but next we have the Magician's Trilogy, which is composed by the Magicians, the Magician's King, oh lord, and the Magician's Land. All by Lev Grossman, obviously, and I really want to read this, and not because of all of that thing that this is the grown-up Harry Potter, because I don't believe that. I feel like everything that is said that is the grown-up Harry Potter goes terribly wrong in the end, because you're expecting stuff that it's not really true, because nothing can compare to Harry Potter. But this is really about a teenager that goes to a magical school in a magical world. So it sounds cool, and I'll have to read to decide if I like it or if I don't. So yeah, I'm just gonna read it. And what better moment to read about magic schools than in summer, when you don't actually have to be in school studying, and you are not like, I wish this was my life, and not studying what I'm studying. So yay. And I still have more for you guys to see, so yeah, this is kind of getting complicated. But yeah, next I have some Brandon Sanderson books, and the books that I have to read are the second Mistborn trilogy, and I really think that I can read them this summer because they're really, really small, and well, comparing to the first Mistborn trilogy, and I really want to know what happened in that world and finish it off, because I am suffering and I can't with not knowing. So the first one is The Alloy of Law, then we have Shadows of Self, and then we have The Bands of Mourning, and all of these UK covers, like, oh, I just love them. But yeah, I really want to read this. Like, I miss Brandon Sanderson in my life, for real. Like, I haven't read Brandon Sanderson since maybe September of the year that just passed, 2016. So yeah, it's a long time without reading Brandon Sanderson, and I really have to, because he's one of my favorite authors of fantasy right now, so I have to get to it, and you probably already heard about him. So yeah, I really want to read this because I only read the Mistborn trilogy, and then I want to proceed to his other worlds and read his other works, and I want to read everything that he ever wrote, ever. So I just have to get this over with the suffering and everything, and plus this is so beautiful. Like, oh, I love it. I love it. And more. Oh, now there's some complications, because I really want to read The Lord of the Rings, because I am one of the fantasy fans and obsessed girls with fantasy that has never read Lord of the Rings. So I can't really say that fantasy is my favorite genre, because I haven't read The Master, Lord of the Blood. I haven't read Tolkien, anything by him. So I haven't read Lord of the Rings, I haven't read The Hobbit, I haven't read Silmarillion, I haven't read anything. So yeah. So what I wanted to ask you is that I have actually Silmarillion here in my house, and I was thinking about starting with it just because it is supposed to be like the ancient times, the first dawn of the world and whatever, so it probably has a lot of world building about what will then be the considered world of The Lord of the Rings. Like, I don't know, I'm just speculating, I have no idea because I never read it, so I don't know. But I wanted to ask if you think that I should read this first, or if I should read like The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings trilogy and then go back to this, because I heard a lot of people saying that this was very massive in descriptions and world building, and that some people found it a little bit boring compared to the original trilogy thingy. So I don't know. What's your opinion, Masters of Fantasy? Tell me, please, if I should read this first, because I am totally going to read this. Like, I don't care if people think it's boring, or if it's not, or whatever people think, I am going to read Silmarillion. And I will try to read it in this summer. So I just want to know if I start with this or if I start with Lord of the Rings. It's that simple. I don't need to know anything else. So yeah. So yeah, we have Silmarillion, and then we have obviously The Hobbit that I also want to read. And this one I am really thinking reading it first before Lord of the Rings. It's getting very hard to say Lord of the Rings. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know. It's like tongue-twisting stuff. But yeah, this one definitely I'm going to read first because I already know the story of Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. I've seen the movies and yada yada. So I want to read this. This is supposed to be the prequel. So why not read this first? Like, I don't know. Is there some rule against it? I don't know. So I'm going to read this first, definitely. So I'm going to read this first, then Lord of the Rings. So the question here is if I read Silmarillion before this or after reading this in the Lord of the Rings. That's the question. So yeah, I'm just gonna show them because the editions are beautiful, but you already know, like Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring. See it? It's beautiful. My precious. Yeah. So yeah, Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers. So pretty. I just love it. And The Return of the King. So pretty. Like, I just love this edition. They're so pretty. And then finally, yes, finally, but there's still a lot of books to go. But finally, I'm going to marathon books by Anne Bishop. Anne Bishop is a dark fantasy, urban fantasy writer, adult fantasy, not YA, despite what some people think. And she will be in Portugal in October for an event of a publisher, and I really want to go there because if you have been in my channel for a while now, you've heard countless times that I always talk about the Black Jewels trilogy, which is my favorite fantasy trilogy. Maybe because it's on point with Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn. Yeah, it's there, and I still haven't read Lord of the Rings, so stop throwing the tomatoes at me and stuff. But yeah, for now, it's one of my favorite trilogies, and I reread that more than 5 times. So I love her, and oh, I can't. I love her characters, I love everything, and I really want to meet her in person and have her sign my books because I need my books signed. So yeah, I want to read all of the other books that I have from her that I haven't read yet. So to do that, I have to read 3 different types of books, and I will proceed to explain that. And I'm sorry this video is getting so long, but I get really excited when speaking of fantasy, and I haven't spoken of fantasy in a while on this channel, so yay. And yeah, so first of all, I have to reread Sebastian and Belladonna, and these are the first 2 books in the Ephemera Landscape trilogy. And basically, the only book that's left is Bridge of Dreams. And this book I haven't read yet, and I bought it because I wanted to finish the trilogy, but then I had other stuff to read, as usual. So yeah, I don't know anything about this one. I'm just gonna put it down because my arm is hurting. So yeah, these 2, basically, yeah, I'm just gonna talk about the first because why would I talk about the second? So this is in a land called Ephemera, and basically this land is made out by landscapes, and you have bridges that connect different landscapes. And the thing is, those bridges are magical, and they don't work like normal bridges that you just go through them and you get to the other side, to the other land that's there. Those bridges, they work in a way that when you are crossing them, you get from the side where you are into the side that your heart desires, like where you're supposed to go. You go to the place that you really belong, basically, and not to the place that you want to go. And so that's really creative, and I really liked it, but the problem is that there are demons and succubus and dark stuff in this world, and basically we follow one that I think it's half demon, and basically, yeah, an ancient evil is coming out again and stuff like that. Like, I don't remember this a lot because I've read this a long time ago, so I have definitely rereading it. And yeah, there's an ancient evil and we have to stop it and yada yada, you know the story, but it's really cool. It's very creative, the fact of the landscapes continuously changing and the bridges and stuff like that, so I really liked it. Although it's not my favorite, it's really cool. And I have to reread this one and Belladonna, and then I will go to Bridges of Dreams just to finish it off, and we're fine with that, so yeah. And then I will read her Fae trilogy. She has a Fae trilogy, and for those of you that love Faes, I think you should read this one, because this one is an adult Fae trilogy. So I'm going to read The Pillars of the World. Just check these covers, they're so cool. Portuguese people doing covers right. I am so happy, I'm sorry, just, yeah. Then we have Light and Shadow. And then we have The House of Gaian, or Gaian, or whatever. And this is a Fae trilogy, like, about nature and how the people of Fae is being threatened by, I don't know what, because I haven't read it. I think it's a witch hunt, and people of Fae are supposed to be half witch, half fairies, and there's a witch hunt and stuff gets crazy, stuff like that. So I haven't read it, but I really want to read it because I think that I would like this one a lot because I really like Fae. Yeah, I have to read it. And then I have to read Written in Red, also by Anne Bishop. And this is the beginning of her other series called The Others. And this is about this girl that she's supposed to be a blood prophet. So every time that she cuts herself, she gets visions. And she's being held captive by this man, this guy. And he wants to use her for prophecies. But she manages to escape and she goes to the others. And they're supposed to be like shapeshifters, like werewolves and stuff like that. I don't think it's really that linear, but it's something like that. And these books, there are currently 5 books, but I think that in Portugal there's only 4 translated, and they're translating the 5th book. Maybe they will release it in October because it's the event and she's coming and whatever. So I really only have the first one, and I really wanted to have the other ones of the series, but since I don't, I should at least read the first one and see if I like it. If I like it, I can also get it with me to get it signed, and that will be pretty cool because I have a feeling that I would like this as much as I like the Black Jewels trilogy. Maybe not as much, but almost as much. So yeah. So yay, it's finally over. So this is my summer TBR fantasy edition, and I hope you guys like it. Please comment down below what books you think that I should read first. Please answer me that question with Silmarillion and stuff like that, because that will be really cool because I really have no idea. Like, help me, please. I will still read it, I need to get my feet in a general place that I am not right now. So yeah, that's it. So I hope you guys like this video. If you want to comment down below what I should read, the thing with Silmarillion, and if you want to, talk a little bit about these books, if you read them, if you want to give me an idea what I'm in for, and stuff like that, I would appreciate, guys, so very much. So yeah, that is all for today, and yeah, if you like this video, leave a like and subscribe, and bye.